I am absolutely thrilled and happy to come back to this album and this band, Low Double Negative. We're moving on to the next track after Fly, and we're listening to Tempest. Hope that you guys are having a wonderful one. This is the last song that I'm recording for like this particular session. It's 7:17 p.m. And with Low, this is like this album up to this point. It's been like a great, just kind of hate to use the name, but like just come down a little bit of a low kind of music to kind of settle down in. So we're going to listen to this track. This was suggested and sponsored by Yerky Floor. Thank you so much once again for the suggestion and the sponsorship. I appreciate that. I am very happy to dive into this one. Now, you sent over as well a quote from The Tempest by Shakespeare, which I'm aware of The Tempest. I had briefly studied it in high school, and there was that movie that came out, I want to say in the mid-2000s or so, and I really wanted to watch it, but I never got around to seeing it. But the visuals looked really cool. And you said, the quote from The Tempest, "Where the bee sucks, there suck I. In a cowslip's bell I lie. There I couch, when owls do cry. On the bat's back do I fly." Or I do fly. Gotta tell you, I never looked into The Tempest that much. Like I said, I know I briefly, and I do mean briefly, studied it in high school, but I did not get very far into it. So I don't really remember much. Let's go ahead and listen to it, though. We'll talk about it after. Here we go. Deep vocoder. That's so crunchily distorted. catch the transition really quick. There you go. You know it's gonna clear up. That's that little melody that it just trips up into at the very end there as it moves into the next track. That's your relief, because this one is one of those punishing experimental, playing with the sound, playing with volume, playing with like redlining the volume, and like that ending. It's like the what is it called when the volume gets so loud from a production standpoint that it starts cutting off the sound? Is it noise gate or sound gate or clipping? There's like a phrase for it. I apologize, but I don't remember what it's exactly called. But it's kind of like that's what's happening. They're kind of manipulating the volume, obviously not literally for us necessarily, but kind of imitating that and simulating that sound to a degree that it feels unpleasant, right? Like that distortion. It's not necessarily pleasant, but it's kind of like this sonic conflict that's happening, that's building up in that track. And I like how it begins that way. And then there's a very brief moment of relief. And then it comes back kind of tenfold on the back half to just, in a sense, punish us at the very end. The vocoder and the vocals are incredibly distorted and kind of emits this kind of very bit crush distortion and beyond static. It's beyond static. It's dust. The way it's crushed here. And I like how when Mimi's vocals come in, I would assume it's her, in the kind of midsection here, that's where the relief kind of seems to come in. Alan, I would imagine, is, that vocoded voice, but when she comes in here, see, it kind of clears up here in this moment. And that melody still kind of just like gently paces itself. It changes here. The glassy synth comes in, and this is your relief, right? And her voice brings that relief. But then you hear that pounding start to work its way back in, right? And I'm sure that there's much more sophisticated words to describe their sound and like in this track and what they're going for here. But they are really, really playing with the audio room, whether you're listening to it in headphones, hopefully not necessarily your phone so you can get the full intensity of it. But, they're playing with the sound in a way that can be unpleasant. And I think that it's unpleasant here, purposely so. But it really kind of makes you appreciate the beauty when those moments do come in as well. And there is even a beauty in the cloudy, dusty sections that they build on here. And not to say that like they make something unpleasant just so you are, you're looking forward to the pleasant. You don't want to feed someone their least favorite food and then put their favorite food like next in line and say, you got to get through this to get to this. No, because that wouldn't make sense. But like they do so in a way that's still interesting from an experimental level and then onto a more melodic and song level. Like the previous track, Fly. Like that one's like that's the one that I think like would capture anybody. And then that gets you into the album, and then you can kind of dive into it and get into the concept a little bit more from there. Let's look at these lyrics. I did pull up the Tempest from Shakespeare, just so I have the Wikipedia article here as well. So we read this already here. Forgive, forget, live and let, you grin and paw and laugh it off, even when you're on. And then it repeats and repeats from there. So because I don't really know the Tempest that well, and I would imagine that, it's directly named here. It has to be reference to it. This verse and the title of the song is a reference to the song Ariel sings in Act 5, Scene 1 of Shakespeare's The Tempest, which was quoted here. So, where the bee sucks, there suck I. In the cowslip's bell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On the bat's back I do fly. After summer merrily. Merrily, merrily shall I live now under the blossom that hangs on the bough. She's just hanging out in nature. So Act 5, Scene 1. Can I find that in here? Act 5, Scene 1. Prospero vows that once he achieves his goals, he will set Ariel free and abandon his magic. Okay, are you sure about that? Ariel brings on Alonso, Antonio, and Sebastian. Prospero forgives all three. Prospero's former title, Duke of Milan, is restored. Ariel fetches the sailors from the ship, and then Caliban, Trinculo, and Stefano. Caliban, seeing full of regret, promises to be good. Ariel is instructed to provide good weather to guide the ships back to the royal fleet. After this, Ariel is set free. So is this... But this is what she opens with. And this is the first scene. I guess I would assume she's speaking or singing to Prospero. Even when you're on, or maybe not. Maybe it's just relating it in some way. This is probably before she's set free. Forgive, forget. Maybe she's telling herself that? I don't... Even when you're on. I feel like I'm treading so close to what the meaning could be, but I'm walking around it. I'm walking in circles when... Maybe I'm gonna research. No, I'm not gonna give up. All right, Tempest, Act 5, Scene 1. I'm on the Folger Shakespeare work, Scene 1. Prospero. All right, we read this already. All right, on the 6th hour. Can we find those lines here? Let's just look up B. Control F me. B. There we go. Ariel sings and it helps to attire him. Okay, here's what we're looking for. Ariel exits and at once returns with Prospero's ducal robes. I will decase me and myself present as I sometime Milan. Right? This is Prospero talking. Sure. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free. And then Ariel sings and helps attire him, dress him up. Okay. So she's singing to him. Why, that's my dainty Ariel, I shall miss thee. But yet thou shalt have freedom. So he's promised. Okay, so she's singing to him while dressing him. He's promising her the freedom. So the kingship invisible as art thou. There shalt thou find the mariners asleep. Under the hatches, the master and the boatswain, being awake, and force them to this place. And presently, I pray thee. Okay, so she's singing almost with hope of this freedom. Forgive, forget, live and let you pawn. You grin and pawn, laugh it off, even when you're on. I think I'm trying to think too literally about how these lyrics might relate to the Tempest, but maybe it relates more to something personal. Man, I am out of here. Let me know what you guys thought. I was really trying to put it together. Yerky Floor, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you so much for the support as well. Let me know what you all thought of the track in the comments down below. See if you can help me figure out the lyrics. And I feel like I'm like right on the precipice of understanding, but I'm missing something. I'm missing something. But it's not for lack of trying. It's not for lack of trying. Have a great one, guys. Help me out. Bye.